Vault 8166. Vault 8166 is one of the most infamous Roblox creepypastas. The myth tells of a secret facility hidden somewhere deep in Roblox's system, protected by a powerful AI known as the Guardian. Inside are multiple mysterious levels, each more dangerous than the last. Players claim to have entered the vault through broken servers or hidden URLs, only to be kicked, banned, or stalked afterward. The legend describes players being dragged into glitched lobbies, shown forbidden code, or even watched by the Guardian entity. But none of this is based in reality. Vault 8166 has no known coordinates or developer connection. It's entirely fictional, crafted by myth creators and horror communities. Despite this, the story persists because it's built like a digital SCP, structured, layered, and believable. Vault 8166 may not exist, but it feels like it could, and that's what makes it terrifying. Melvin. Melvin is a ghost-like Roblox myth tied to a shaggy avatar model. According to the legend, Melvin was a child who passed away in 2008 and began appearing in games afterward as a transparent or glitched figure. Some say that seeing Melvin causes your game to freeze, that your avatar gets locked in place, or that eerie music starts playing. In most stories, Melvin doesn't attack. He simply appears, watching silently. Some games feature his grave, and others claim Melvin speaks to players using old chat logs. But everything about Melvin is fictional, crafted by players through scripting and myth roleplay. The myth became popular because it combined a tragic backstory with simple in-game horror elements: freezing, disappearing players, distorted audio. There's no real Melvin account with these powers, but the myth has endured for years as one of Roblox's quietest and most haunting legends. DrMach. DrMach is a sinister figure in the Roblox myth community. Portrayed as a mentally broken therapist, DrMach supposedly lost his daughter under mysterious circumstances and now uses Roblox to experiment on other players. His games often feature clinics, psychiatric wards, and distorted patient logs. The unsettling part is how immersive the games are. Players report being addressed by name, having their movements tracked, or hearing voices whispering personal details. It all feels real, but it's completely scripted. DrMach's myth has no basis in real exploits or bans. Every element of his presence is built on story-driven design and horror atmosphere. He stands out not because of jump scares or supernatural powers, but because of psychological tension. He remains one of the more grounded Roblox myths, designed to disturb on a personal level rather than just scare. G0Z. G0Z is a classic horror myth in Roblox, centered on a mysterious figure named Annie Martin Holmes. The myth says she died young and now haunts Roblox through surreal games like the Circus in the Sky or My Happy Town. These games feature floating objects, corrupted textures, and eerie silence. When players enter, they often find themselves alone, surrounded by strange dolls or empty carnival rides. In some cases, NPCs with the names of real players appear, implying G0Z has trapped them. What makes G0Z so terrifying is the quietness of it all. No screamer, no jump cuts, just slowly building dread. But there's no real danger. Her games are entirely scripted by creators in the myth community. G0Z is a prime example of myth building done right. She doesn't need to hack you or crash your PC. She just needs you to believe she could. 1X is one of the most famous names in Roblox myth history. Originally a test account created by Roblox staff, the name later became the center of a huge hacker rumor. People claimed 1X could join any server, delete games, steal data, and ban players. Videos surfaced showing him saying ominous phrases, changing maps, and corrupting games. But Roblox later confirmed the account was harmless and never had hacking abilities. Still, the myth refuses to die. The name itself, just numbers and ones, feels robotic, unnatural, and creepy. Many players still avoid using it in usernames or fear servers where it's spotted. 1X is a myth born from coincidence and fear, but it shows how even the simplest names can turn into legends when mixed with imagination and mystery. 4NN1. 4NN1 is a Roblox account said to belong to a girl who died in a fire. Her house, now a game, is covered in pink decor, childlike drawings, and strange traps. When players join, Annie greets them in chat, acting friendly, until things start going wrong. The game eventually fills with fire, eerie music, or twisted versions of toys. Players sometimes report their screen glitching or Annie calling them by name. It feels real, but it's all scripted. There's no real hacking, no real ghost, just a carefully crafted experience. 4NN1 became famous because it feels tragic. Instead of a monster, it's a lonely girl. That emotional twist made her one of Roblox's most famous creepypasta characters. MrRealism. MrRealism, also known as Joey, is a myth centered around a child who talks to something only he can see. His games often feature dim lighting, small rooms, and scribbled notes on the walls. Sometimes players can hear him talking, but there's no one there. The myth suggests Joey's imaginary friend is slowly taking over his mind, turning him paranoid and erratic. As players explore his game, they may find references to missing children, therapy logs, or broken family dynamics. MrRealism doesn't threaten you directly. Instead, he creates a space where something feels wrong. That's what makes him so memorable. He has no history of hacking, no real account manipulation, just strong psychological horror, crafted through careful scripting. His story resonates because it taps into childhood fear and isolation, something many can relate to. 74J. 74J is a Roblox myth known for creepy, abstract games like Make a Friend and Missing.wmv. He's also tied to the Grocery Gang, a group of myth-based characters built around unsettling visuals, strange audio, and corrupted environments. Games linked to 74J are full of NPCs that twitch, disappear, or follow you silently. Some claim the myth includes references to real-world trauma, making it one of the more controversial figures in the community. Unlike most myths, 74J isn't centered around one backstory. He's more of a collector, absorbing other myths, ideas, and lore into his own worlds. He's been both admired and feared in the community, mostly because of how unpredictable his games are. Despite some rumors, 74J has no verified connection to hacking or moderation. He's simply a storyteller, and a creepy one at that. Cool Kid. He was the leader of an exploiter group called Team Cool Kid, active around 2013 to 2016. Using custom tools like Cool GUI, they would flood popular games with red text, loud music, and messages like, "Hacked by Team Cool Kid." They didn't use horror elements, but their invasions created real fear. Some players believed Cool Kid was a ghost account or a virus, especially when he showed up in games that weren't public. Over time, fans began adding creepypasta layers, saying he could teleport, ban users, or manipulate your inventory. Today, Cool Kid's legend blends fact with fiction. The exploits were real, but the supernatural powers weren't. Still, his name has stuck as one of the most infamous figures in Roblox myth history. Tifany Mayumi. Tifany Mayumi is a name that surfaces often in comment sections and myth compilations, but she remains one of Roblox's most mysterious figures. There's no verified game, no myth wiki entry, and no creator publicly linked to her story. Some say she was part of a deleted myth project or a lost character from a private horror game. Others claim she was just a name dropped in fake myth videos for shock value. What keeps her relevant is how strange the name sounds, like someone real but slightly off. Because there's no official lore or appearance, Tifany Mayumi exists more as an idea than a character. She represents the kind of myth that spreads just because it sounds creepy. Sometimes all it takes is a name that feels wrong to capture the imagination. Guest 666 is one of the most legendary myths in Roblox's history. During the era when guest accounts were still a thing, players claimed that one particular guest, number 666, had strange powers. He was said to have admin commands, teleporting abilities, and a red glowing appearance. People believed that encountering Guest 666 would cause your game to freeze, your avatar to spin uncontrollably, or even your account to be banned. Fake footage began to circulate, showing him lurking in dark maps or joining random games without warning. Of course, Guest 666 was never real. Roblox never gave guests any special powers, Everything about the myth came from edited games, fake scripts, or clever trolling, but the idea of an anonymous, powerful figure with no username made Guest 666 a staple of Roblox horror culture. John Doe. John Doe is a real Roblox account created by the developers in 2006 as a default test profile. For years, he was forgotten, just a piece of Roblox's backend. But in 2017, a viral rumor claimed that John Doe would return on March 18th and begin hacking accounts. Panic swept through the community. Videos warned people not to log in. Some even claimed John Doe had already hacked their friends. It got so big that Roblox had to step in and clarify. John Doe was completely harmless and inactive. Despite being debunked, the myth lives on. Players still talk about seeing him in-game or receiving strange messages. John Doe is a perfect example of how a normal account can turn into something terrifying, just by adding a creepy date and a little mystery. Cutiesalvia. Cutiesalvia is one of the more obscure and undocumented names in the myth space. No official lore, game, or wiki entry exists. Yet, the name occasionally appears in comments and fake myth compilations, always surrounded by creepy music and vague warnings. It's unclear whether she was ever part of a real myth game or just a name designed to spook people. Some players say she used to follow them. Others say her avatar looked glitchy or half-loaded. But none of these claims are supported by actual footage or account history. Cutiesalvia is more of a blank myth, a character born from suggestion, not substance. She proves that sometimes, just hearing a strange name in the right context is enough to unsettle people. Bloxwatch. Bloxwatch is a myth often described as a mysterious organization watching over the Roblox myth universe. In some stories, they appear as red-eyed enforcers. In others, they're white-robed NPCs who warn players to stop digging too deep. They're said to monitor players who explore dark games, track myth hunters, or even delete myth-related content. But there's no real group, account, or admin tool connected to Bloxwatch. They're not hackers. They're storytellers' tools. Bloxwatch is a concept, not a character. It gives creators a way to add layers to their horror games, like a secret police of the Roblox underworld. And because they're vague and shadowy, they stay just believable enough to keep players guessing. Noli. Noli is a humanoid figure covered in black, often seen wearing a void star or a mask. He stands silently in empty games, appearing and disappearing without warning. He doesn't speak, doesn't move much, but his presence is deeply unsettling. Some players claim he teleports them, breaks game lighting, or silently watches from impossible places. His games are known for being quiet, minimal, and filled with eerie symbols. Despite his aura, Noli is completely fictional. He was created for horror roleplay, and all of his actions are scripted. But he became iconic because of how well he's designed. He doesn't chase you or scream. He makes you uncomfortable without doing anything at all. Noli remains one of the most respected Roblox myths because he proves that silence can be more terrifying than noise. Rust_010. Rust010 is a myth shrouded in mystery. There's no official game, no wiki page, and no backstory. Just a name that shows up in spooky TikToks and creepypasta compilations. Some say he's a corrupted admin, others say he was part of an unreleased myth game. There's no clear evidence of what he is or where he came from. No official account tied to Rust_010 has ever been verified, but the name sounds believable. Technical, sterile, and slightly broken. In the myth world, that's all it takes. Rust010 has become a ghost myth, a name people repeat because it sounds like it belongs to something dangerous, even if it doesn't. Sometimes, it's the myths with no story that scare us the most.